Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And yes, another cold day today, over 20 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. And some clouds out there as we look down from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. It's our cross camera, and still that little dusting of snow on the Cascades. Picked up about 1 to 3 inches or so yesterday, and as we make our way into the end of the week, tomorrow's going to be a little chilly too. We are at the very bottom of that graphic, and then look at the slow warm up as we get in, especially to this weekend, all the way up into the upper 30s on Sunday, and then low 40s as we get into the first and middle part of next week. And we'll have your complete North Central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Malaga man facing drug and robbery charges in Chelan County is now charged with a federal offense. A 16-year-old Rock Island youth whose assault of another teenager precipitated a gang-related shooting in East Wenatchee was sentenced yesterday. And the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest may update their plans for the management of domestic grazing allotments. But first, our top story tonight. Emergency managers on Wednesday identified the 3 mountaineers killed in a weekend avalanche on Kolchuk Peak, whose bodies still remain at the scene. 2 men died in that snowslide on Sunday. They are 54-year-old Seong Cho of West Hartford, Connecticut, and 66-year-old Yoon Park of Palisades Park, New Jersey. Also killed was a woman, 60-year-old Jenny Lee of Bayside, New York. The avalanche swept all 3 climbers about 500 feet down the couloir of Kolchuk as they tried to ascend. It left another member of their 6-person expedition with non-life-threatening injuries. The survivors were able to return to their base camp, but authorities say the bodies of the 3 lost climbers remain where they fell for now. Efforts to recover them will depend on weather and safety conditions. A Malaga man facing drug and robbery charges in Chelan County is now charged with a federal offense. Authorities say in May of 2022, 39-year-old Ricardo Castro Vasquez tried to deliver more than 100 fentanyl pills to a potential buyer. The Columbia River Drug Task Force intervened in the alleged delivery. Castro was arrested in June and remained in the Chelan County Jail until yesterday, when local prosecutors dismissed charges of drug possession, firearm possession, and robbery to make way for the federal case. U.S. prosecutors charged Castro with attempted fentanyl distribution, which carries a possible 20-year prison sentence. He was transferred to Spokane for a scheduled appearance today in federal court. In other news, a 16-year-old Rock Island youth whose assault of another teenager precipitated a gang-related shooting in East Wenatchee was sentenced yesterday to time he's already served in detention. Douglas County Court Commissioner Phil Safar also assigned the youth to 2 months probation. In June 2021, the teenager was in a group that robbed another youth. When the victim's father sought to confront the attackers, a group of gang members retaliated in a shooting near East Wenatchee City Hall that wounded 1 person. The teenager was not charged in that crime, but 6 other people, including 1 juvenile charged as an adult, have all entered pleas and been sentenced in that shooting. The Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest may update their plans for the management of domestic grazing allotments. The proposed action would identify which areas are both suitable and unsuitable for domestic sheep and goat grazing and develop specific management plans for grazing sites. Domestic livestock carry diseases that put the bighorn sheep population at risk. There are 17 bighorn sheep herds in different areas of central and eastern Washington state, and 10 of those herds are in portions of the forest. A notice of intent to prepare an environmental impact statement to update the plans was originally published back in 2019. Well, when we come back, the bill to protect and restore salmon riparian habitat unanimously passed the House Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee last Friday. 2 North Central Washington sports teams got high honors earlier this month from the State House of Representatives. For more than a half century, the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association annual fundraising banquet has been a tradition in the Wenatchee Valley. And we will bring you our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Spring is more than just a time to clean. It's your time to renew, recharge, and spend time with the people you love. At Merry Maids, our cleaning services go beyond the basic services and provide you with a comprehensive clean that will re-energize your home and enhance your life. From everyday routine cleaning or deep cleanings, Merry Maids professional team members can provide you with an unrivaled experience. Call Merry Maids to schedule your cleaning today.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
Welcome back. And in other news, the bill to protect and restore salmon riparian habitat unanimously passed the House Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee last Friday. On Monday, the Capital Budget Committee held a hearing for the bill's funding. The legislation will now include a total of $200 million from the Salmon Recovery Funding Board and the Washington State Conservation Commission. The bill is sponsored by 13th District Representative Tom Dent, who is the lead Republican on the Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee. The bill aims to establish a voluntary and regionally focused grant program to improve the functions of critical riparian management zones. 2 North Central Washington sports teams got high honors earlier this month from the State House of Representatives. Both the Chelan High School volleyball team and the Wenatchee High School football team were recognized with resolutions introduced by Representatives Mike Steele and Keith Gaynor for success both on and off the court and field. Here's what those honors look like from the House floor.
House Resolution 4613, clerk will read.
Whereas the Washington State House of Representatives recognize excellence in all fields and endeavors, and whereas the Chelan High School volleyball team has won the 2022 WIAA 1A Volleyball Championship. They are 3-time back-to-back 1A volleyball champions, and whereas the team has an exceptional season going undefeated, Chelan High School and the Chelan volleyball coaching staff.
With the consent of the House, House Resolution 4613 honoring the Chelan High School volleyball team is adopted. Hearing no objection, so ordered. House Resolution 4614, the clerk will read.
Whereas the House of Representatives recognize excellence in all endeavors, and whereas the Wenatchee High School football team has won the 2022 4A Washington Interscholastic Athletic Association's Academic Championship, which honors the team with the highest GPA in the state, and whereas the Wenatchee High School football team achieved an impressive cumulative GPA of 3.597. Principal of Wenatchee High School and the football coaching staff.
With the consent of the House, House of Resolution 4614 honoring the Wenatchee High School football team is adopted. Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Congratulations to both teams. And speaking of sports, for more than half a century, the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association annual fundraising banquet has been a tradition in the Wenatchee Valley. That tradition returns March 3rd at St. Joseph's Catholic Church. The association is involved in many sporting and conservation pursuits in the Wenatchee outdoors. In 2020, they helped fund a trail camera study in the Stamilt and Squilchuck basins, which captured many images like the ones you see here. The banquet next week features raffles, a live and silent auction, and games. You can get your fundraising tickets for $50 for adults, $45 for youth, and they're available at Sportsman's Warehouse and Hooked on Toys. Time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. The pet of the week that was supposed to be on tonight happily was adopted earlier this week, so tonight we are reintroduced to a dog named Opie.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm the Animal Behavior Coordinator here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And today with me I have our gentle giant, Opie. Opie is a 4-year-old guy. He's just shy of 100 pounds, so he's a big fella. But he wants you to know that he is a gentle guy. He's easy to walk on leash. He's been so wonderful with all the volunteers here. In fact, he's kind of a favorite because he's such a sweetheart and he's so easy to walk on leash. He loves a little bit of playtime outside, but overall, Opie just really wants to be with his humans and seeks out his humans. He does go to playgroup. His play style is more the gentle and dainty kind of play style, so he plays with a lot of our respectful dogs. He does come out hot, but he settles in, and overall, Opie's just like such a cool dog.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Working with August Edge Real Estate, both sellers and buyers feel confident knowing they are in the hands of award-winning professionals. August Edge offers a 2% listing commission, which includes above-standard service and technology.
We offer high-tech 3D imagery, drone photos, local North Central Washington TV ads, and impressive smart flyer installed at your listing. The August Edge website also hosts your home with an interactive featured listing page.
August Edge is professional, personable, and preferable.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Electric vehicles are catching on in Washington, driven in part by new emission standards which will phase in over the next decades. But hydrogen vehicles are also an option, and the Douglas County PUD is betting on that alternative fuel as it brings its own hydrogen production facility online. In tonight's features story, NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins asked PUD leaders Gary Ivory and Ron Skagen how they're preparing for the future of transportation.
Your PUD and the city of East Wenatchee have just entered into a pilot program to fund an EV charging station that would be for public use. So as a generator of electricity, a transmitter of electricity, where does your PUD stand on electric vehicle charging as a part of public infrastructure? I mean, how far does your mission extend? You have the power, obviously. Do you see yourself in the future as a retailer of electric vehicle charging power? And full disclosure, I drove over here in a Nissan Leaf. So.
All right. Well, people can charge their cars in their homes right now. And we are putting in a fast charger right here, aren't we, at this site? Here?
We are, yeah, here and at Wells Dam.
And at Wells
also.
Dam. And we'll have a hydrogen fueling station here as well. So can't really, we're taking it one step at a time. People are wanting electric vehicles, the battery or hydrogen. So that's coming, and we have to, figure out how we're going to handle that. Because if everybody plugs in their cars at 5 o'clock when you go home, we'll have problems. So we're going to have to get smart about that and figure out how we're going to do it. But the electric vehicles are coming, and I would say most of us are not prepared for it, but we're working hard to get there. So having charging stations part of it. Not everybody will have the ability in their home to charge it adequately. Some people will have, there'll be commercial chargers there, and there'll be some that are probably from the PUD.
So that sort of goes to one of my other questions as to whether getting into the EV charging market would be a conflict with your entry into the hydrogen production market. It doesn't sound like you see any conflict there.
Hydrogen does more for us because it helps us balance the load on the dam, and it can allow us to capture electricity when we want to. Whereas on a battery charging for a vehicle, battery charged vehicle, we provide the electricity when the customer wants it. So they choose. But with hydrogen, we can choose. So it really helps the utility. But some people want battery and some will want hydrogen, and they're both good. So we want to be a part of both solutions.
Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Thursday was a good one. We're still in the midst of this Arctic air that moved in yesterday, and today I think the coldest day that we'll see. This is a shot up at Lake Wenatchee, and it just almost looks cold, doesn't it? Kind of that cold haze over the lake. And of course, I always have to mention Kaler Glen Golf Course right there in the middle of your screen, but a mix of clouds and sun today. The sun did feel nice, but boy, it was a chilly one out there today. Unofficially, our high today, only 21 degrees, and that is 23 degrees, in fact, 24 degrees now below where we should be. Our normal is 45 this time of year, 63 our record, and that was set back in 1968. This morning we dropped down to 16. I'll tell you what, that was warm compared to a lot of eastern Washington morning lows, which were predominantly in the single numbers over towards Spokane, Moses Lake, down also in parts of the Tri-Cities. 29 is our normal low temperature now, so well below that. 12 our record low, and guess what? That was set last year in 2022. Sunrise 6:52, sunset will be at 5:37. Let's take a look now at our end of the week Friday temperatures as we get you in close to the weekend. Still going to be a chilly one tomorrow, but a little bit better than today. 27s for Moses Lake and Ephrata. 26 degrees tomorrow for Quincy, 25 in Wenatchee, 24 for both Eniat and Chelan. The chilly spot, Lake Wenatchee tomorrow. We just were there in your PTZ shot. They will see a high tomorrow of 19 degrees. Taking a look at tonight now, partly cloudy skies. Here's that area of low pressure that brought the snow earlier in the week. And boy, the cold air keeps rushing in from the northeast. We will see low single numbers for overnight low temperatures tonight. Luckily, not as much wind as we originally thought we'd see, at least here in the Wenatchee area. For Friday, lots of sunshine. That'll be nice tomorrow, but Still going to be a lot of that cold air in place all the way down into the desert southwest. All of us feeling that. High temperatures, though, as we get into Saturday, will be a little bit warmer with temperatures near 30 degrees as some of that cold air erodes away from our area. And then as we get into the end of the weekend on Sunday, cloudy skies, a very strong westerly flow coming into the state. And yeah, there you have it. Morning snow giving way to just some clouds by afternoon. We'll see high temperatures on Sunday. No complaints there, mid to upper 30s to end our weekend. And then on Monday, here's our next storm system. It's not a strong one. We will see some, maybe some snow, about a 30% chance of it in the afternoon. High temperatures in the mid 30s. That system will really die out. It's still there on the Oregon-Washington border on Tuesday, but we'll see a mix of clouds and sun for your Tuesday. It will be warmer with high temperatures. Pretty nice, getting back to closer to normal in the upper 30s. And by the end of our forecast on Wednesday, you can see that ridge of high pressure nosing into the Pacific Northwest. That means warmer temperatures. We're expecting highs by midweek next week into the low 40s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast, and it's brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. Tonight we will be cold, 8 degrees our overnight low, 25 tomorrow, and 9 for an overnight low as we get into Saturday. But a nice warm up, 30 for Saturday, 37 on Sunday, a chance for some snow on Monday, and then a nice warm up for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Mostly cloudy and 39 on Tuesday with sunshine and 41 as we get to Wednesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. Yesterday, we gave the Wenatchee Panther winter sports teams a little love on who made All-League. Today, it's Eastmont's turn. Now, just a quick heads up, the coaches can nominate their players, but they can't vote for their own players. Only the opposing coaches get a vote for the All-League team, and for the opposing coaches of the Columbia Basin Big Nine, they all agreed. Amon Monahan is the Columbia Basin Big Nine Boys Basketball Player of the Year, the senior standout. Congratulations to him. Also, he's all defense this year, Amon Monahan is. Congratulations to Reese Gallagher, the senior stud from Eastmont who makes the first team in All-League. And in Columbia Basin Big Nine Girls Basketball All-League out of Eastmont in the second team, Elizabeth Hines, the sophomore standout, and making honorable mention, the freshman Noelia Johnson. The Seattle Kraken back at it today at Climate Pledge Arena. They're taking on the team with the best record in the NHL, the Boston Bruins. Now keep in mind, even though Boston is 43-8-5 on the year, one of their losses came at the hands of the Seattle Kraken back in Boston a few weeks ago. So Seattle so far has their number. The Kraken 32-19-6, currently in third place in the Pacific Division. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock tonight on Root Sports Northwest. Lots of college basketball getting to the tail end of the regular season before it's tournament time. It's women's first because we believe in that. Number 18 Gonzaga is in California to take on San Diego. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. Washington State is going to be in Southern California taking on number 17 UCLA. The Cougars and the Lady Bruins will tip it off at 6 o'clock. Tip it off at 8 o'clock tonight. The Lady Huskies, looking to make the tournament, will take on USC in Southern California. And Weber State will be at Eastern Washington. That's at 6 p.m. tonight on ESPN+. As far as the men are concerned, it's the other way around as the number 12 Gonzaga Bulldogs host San Diego at the Kennel. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight. You can watch that on ESPN2. Washington State is in Stanford to take on the Cardinal. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight. That is on the Pac-12 Network. Before that game, at 6 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network, it's the Washington Huskies in Berkeley taking on Cal. And Eastern Washington leading the Big Sky, winners of 17 consecutive games, will take on Weber State in Utah. That's at 6 o'clock. You can watch that on ESPN+. Heading into the first weekend of the state regional round of the basketball tournament. Now, the top 8 seeds have already guaranteed a trip to state. So this is more of a seeding game. Number 7 Cashmere will take on number 2 Linden Christian. That's Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. That game will be in Mount Vernon. Number 2 Okanogan will take on the 7th seeded Rainier team Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. Number 8 Waterville Mansfield will take on the number 1 team Nia Bay. That's Saturday at 4 o'clock at the Tacoma Community College Gymnasium. And number 1 and undefeated Ellensburg in the 2A ranks will take on number 8 Squim Friday at 8 o'clock in Ellensburg. Again, all of those teams have already guaranteed themselves a trip to the state tournament. As far as the boys are concerned, here is your schedule for the weekend. Again, if you're seeded 1 through 8, you're automatically going to state. So for Omak and Lakeside, it's win or go home. Omak and number 16 Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls will tip it off at noon Saturday at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. Saturday at 4 o'clock at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. Number 3 Lake Roosevelt boys will take on number 6 Napavine and number 5 Brewster and number 4 Columbia out of Burbank Friday at 8 o'clock at Richland High School. And can't forget about Wenatchee Wild Hockey. They're up north. They got games Friday and Saturday. They'll take on the Penticton V's and the Merritt Centennials. They'll be back in town next weekend for Guns and Hoses Night, one of the biggest nights of the year as the Wild continue to climb up the interior division. And those were just some of the games that people are playing. Lots of highlights tomorrow. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And before we let you go tonight, let's take a quick look once again at your 7-day forecast. This cold air is not going to stick around forever. It's going to get awfully cold, though, as you wake up Friday morning. 9 degrees, 8 degrees. Yes, single numbers over the next couple of days. Sunshine, though, for both Friday and Saturday. We'll see 30 for a high on Saturday. And then temperatures moderating even more. Some morning snow Sunday and 37. A little bit of snow maybe in the afternoon Monday and 34 degrees. And then things quiet down and warm up for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Mostly cloudy Tuesday and 39 with mostly sunny skies on Wednesday with a high then of 41. Now let's check back in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Join me for a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, getting ready to bid adieu to February, and quite frankly, at the risk of editorializing, good riddance. I wish I was back in Arizona. We'll have your weekend weather forecast, highlights of the Kraken and the Bruins. They're playing tonight, of course, at Climate Pledge Arena, plus all the scores from around the world of college basketball, and we'll preview the first weekend of the state tournament in boys and girls basketball from the high school level. We'll have that for you in sports and everything you need to start your weekend. Might as well start it with me, like you got anything better to do, right? We'll be live and local tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. right here from Studio 3 for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCW Life channel.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCW Life channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.